You have looked up at the night sky, maybe once as a child, maybe last week, and for a moment, just a moment, something happened that you cannot fully explain. You felt small and strangely comforted by that smallness. That feeling is not modern. That feeling is not new. That feeling is approximately 300,000 years old, and the story of what ancient humans actually thought when they looked up is far stranger, far more beautiful, and far more human than anything a science textbook has ever told you. Before telescopes, before mathematics, before any written language existed on Earth, human beings were already spending entire nights lying on their backs staring at the sky, not casually, not occasionally, obsessively. Archaeologists have found evidence of astronomical observation going back at least 40,000 years. Cave paintings in Lascaux, France, dated to around 17,000 years ago, contain dot patterns that researchers now believe map specific star constellations visible in the night sky at that time. A bone fragment found in the Dordogne region of France, known as the Blanchard bone, dated to around 30,000 years ago, contains a series of carved notches that follow the phases of the moon across a 2.5-month cycle. A prehistoric human with no writing, no mathematics, no formal education of any kind, sat down 30,000 years ago and carefully tracked the movement of the moon across the sky over months. They were watching, long before they had words to describe what they saw. But what did they actually think was up there? The honest answer is that we cannot know with certainty. But archaeology, anthropology, and the study of the oldest surviving oral traditions from indigenous cultures around the world give us something remarkable. Ancient humans did not see the stars the way we see them. They did not see distant suns millions of light years away. They did not see nuclear fusion and gravitational collapse and cosmic time. They saw ancestors. They saw gods. They saw living beings. Almost every ancient culture on Earth independently arrived at the same conclusion. The sky was not empty space. It was populated. It was alive. And the things living there were watching back. The ancient Egyptians believed the stars were the souls of the dead. The Milky Way was the path those souls walked after death, a river of light carrying the departed from this world into the next. Their entire civilization, their pyramids, their burial practices, were oriented around the sky with a precision that still astonishes engineers today. The 3 pyramids of Giza align almost perfectly with the 3 stars of Orion's belt as they appeared in the sky. The ancient Greeks saw the sky as a stage. Every constellation was a story, a hero frozen in light, a monster defeated and placed in the heavens as both warning and memorial. Orion the hunter, Cassiopeia the queen, Perseus and Andromeda, they were not decorations. They were history. They were the culture's memory written in light across the entire sky so that no child who ever looked up would forget. The Aboriginal Australians developed one of the oldest and most sophisticated astronomical traditions on Earth. Their star maps go back at least 65,000 years, making them the oldest astronomers in human history. But they did something that Western astronomy never did. They mapped not just the stars, but the darkness between them. The dark patches in the Milky Way, the spaces where no stars shine, were shaped by the Aboriginal Australians into animals and figures just as deliberately as any constellation. The emu in the sky is not made of stars. It is made of darkness. And it rises at a specific time of year that corresponds exactly with when emus lay their eggs on the ground below. A 65,000-year-old agricultural calendar written in the darkness of the night sky. But the most remarkable thing about what ancient humans thought of the stars is not the mythology. It is the emotion. In 2018, researchers studying the psychological effects of awe at the University of California, Berkeley found that experiences of vastness, of something larger than the self, reliably produced measurable reductions in anxiety, increases in generosity, and a stronger sense of connection to other people. Awe, the study found, makes humans kinder. It makes them less focused on themselves. It dissolves the boundaries between self and other in a way that almost nothing else does. Ancient humans experienced this every single night, not as a special occasion, not as a trip to a planetarium, as ordinary life. They had no electric light to wash the sky away, no screens to pull their eyes downward, no city glow to dim the Milky Way into invisibility. Every night, without exception, the full glory of the universe was directly above them. Researchers estimate that ancient humans could see between 2,000 and 5,000 stars on any clear night. Most people living in cities today can see fewer than 10. 10 stars versus 5,000. Every single night of their lives. And they lay under those 5,000 stars and they told stories about them. They named them. They gave them personalities and histories and grudges and loves. They used them to navigate. They used them to plant crops. They used them to mark the passage of seasons and years. They used them to bury their dead in the right direction. The stars were not a backdrop to ancient human life. The stars were the framework around which everything else was organized. There is a word in Portuguese that has no direct English translation: saudade. It means a deep emotional longing for something beautiful that is gone. A love for something you may never have again. That is what most humans today feel when they finally see a truly dark sky for the first time. Not wonder exactly. Something older than wonder. Something that feels like memory, like the body recognizing something the mind has forgotten. Because your ancestors did not just look at the stars occasionally. They lived under them. They were shaped by them. Their stories, their gods, their calendars, their grief, their hope. All of it was organized around that light falling from unimaginable distances onto upturned human faces. And then we built cities and turned on the lights, and the sky went away. And we called that progress. Modern astronomers estimate that 80% of people alive today have never seen the Milky Way with their own eyes. Never. Not once in their entire lives. Something that every single human being who ever lived before the last 100 years saw every night of their lives. Gone. In 1 century. In the blink of a geological eye. The ancient humans who carved the phases of the moon into bone 30,000 years ago were not primitive. They were paying attention in a way that most of us have completely forgotten how to do. They looked up. Every night. Without exception. And what they saw made them feel connected to something so much larger than themselves that the fear of ordinary life grew smaller by comparison. You still have that same need. The same nervous system. The same ancient hunger for vastness. You just forgot where to look.